7 things high vibrational people never touch. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to radiate peace, joy, and confidence, no matter what life throws at them? These people glow differently. Their energy feels clean, magnetic, and calming all at once. They walk into a room, and you can feel the shift. They don't even have to say a word. These are high vibrational people, individuals whose energy exists at a frequency where positivity, clarity, and inner alignment become their natural state. But here's something you might not know: their light isn't accidental. It's not a random gift they were born with or something reserved for a select few. High vibrational people make conscious choices every single day to protect and nurture their energy. It's not about perfection, and it's not about being better than anyone else. It's about alignment, choosing to live in a way that honors their highest self, their deepest truth. And one of the most significant ways they do this is by avoiding things that lower their vibration, drain their energy, or pull them out of alignment. They've learned through experience, through trial and error, what not to touch. And if you're ready to elevate your life, to step into that higher frequency where joy, love, and peace flow effortlessly, you need to start paying attention to those choices. 2. But let me ask you this: have you ever stopped to think about what's subtly draining your energy? What habits, thoughts, or environments are pulling you away from the person you know you're meant to be? Because the truth is, most of us are carrying things physical, emotional, even spiritual that weigh us down. And often we don't even realize it. We get so used to feeling heavy, so used to living in survival mode, that we forget what it feels like to be truly free, to be truly alive. Here's what's amazing: though you can shift this, you can start making the same choices high vibrational people make, not just to avoid what drains you, but to rise into a state of being that feels expansive and limitless. It's not about adding more to your life. It's about subtracting what isn't aligned. The first thing high vibrational people never touch is toxic relationships. You've heard the phrase, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," right? This isn't just a motivational cliche, it's a spiritual truth. The people you surround yourself with either elevate you or pull you down. Their energy becomes intertwined with yours, and if their energy is chaotic, negative, or manipulative, it'll weigh on you, whether you realize it or not. High vibrational people understand this deeply. They don't waste time trying to fix or change others. They know their job isn't to carry someone else's emotional baggage or to be a source of light for someone who refuses to heal their own darkness.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Think about your own life for a moment. Who are the people you spend the most time with? Do they inspire you, uplift you, or make you feel more alive? Or do they drain you, criticize you, or leave you feeling small? This can be a hard question to ask yourself because we're often attached to people who don't serve our growth. But if you're serious about raising your vibration, you have to be willing to set boundaries, even if it's uncomfortable. The second thing high vibrational people never touch is fear-based thinking. Fear is one of the lowest vibrational states you can exist in. It's not just an emotion, it's a frequency, a dense and sticky energy that keeps you stuck. Fear tells you that you're not enough. Fear whispers that the world is dangerous, that people can't be trusted, that you're going to fail. And the more you engage with these thoughts, the more they become your reality. High vibrational people don't entertain fear. That doesn't mean they don't feel it, they do. But they don't let it take over. They've learned to notice fear, acknowledge it, and then choose differently. Here's a question for you: what fears are holding you back right now? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping into your power. What would happen if you decided, just for today, to stop feeding those fears, to stop letting them dictate your choices. The third thing high vibrational people never touch is low vibrational media. This might be one of the most overlooked areas of our lives, yet it's one of the most impactful. What you consume matters. The shows you watch, the music you listen to, the articles you read, they all carry an energy, and that energy becomes part of you. High vibrational people are intentional about what they allow into their mental and emotional space. They don't binge on the news or scroll endlessly through social media, soaking up negativity and comparison. They understand that every piece of media they consume either feeds their soul or drains it. Now, let me ask you, what are you consuming on a daily basis? Is it inspiring you, expanding your mind, and nourishing your spirit? Or is it leaving you distracted, anxious, or numb? High vibrational people know that their energy is sacred. It's the foundation of everything they do, everything they create, and everything they become. That's why they protect it fiercely. They don't touch what doesn't serve them, not because they're avoiding life's challenges, but because they know their power lies in staying aligned with their highest self. The silent saboteurs, hidden traps that drain your energy and lower your vibration. High vibrational people know that protecting their energy is not just about avoiding the obvious, it's about becoming aware of the subtle, hidden traps that sneak into everyday life. These traps are often so normalized in our culture that we don't even question them. But the thing about energy is that it doesn't lie. Every thought, action, and environment carries a frequency, and when you engage with low vibrational habits, even unconsciously, it creates tiny cracks in your energetic foundation. Over time, these cracks can drain you, leaving you feeling disconnected, anxious, and heavy. High vibrational people don't just avoid these traps, they see them for what they are: distractions from their purpose, their peace, and their power. One of the most insidious traps high vibrational people never touch is gossip. At first glance, gossip might seem harmless. It's just casual conversation, right? But here's the truth: gossip is one of the lowest vibrational activities you can engage in. Why? Because it's rooted in judgment, comparison, and separation. When you gossip, you're feeding negativity both in yourself and in the person you're speaking with. You're also reinforcing the idea that it's okay to tear others down to make yourself feel better, even if it's subtle. High vibrational people understand that what you say about others reflects your own inner state. They avoid gossip not because they're trying to be better than anyone else, but because they value their integrity and their energy too much to waste it on negativity. Let me ask you this: how often do you find yourself caught in gossip, even unintentionally? Maybe it's at work, with friends, or even in your own thoughts. What would happen if you chose to shift those conversations towards something uplifting instead? What if, instead of speaking about someone's flaws, you looked for their strengths? This simple shift doesn't just raise your vibration, it changes the energy of everyone around you. Another silent saboteur high vibrational people avoid is unhealthy comparison. We live in a world that thrives on comparison. Social media, advertising, even casual conversations are often designed to make you feel like you're not enough. You see someone else's success, their beauty, their lifestyle, and you start to question your own worth. But here's what high vibrational people know: comparison is a trap. It pulls you out of gratitude and into lack. It shifts your focus from what you have to what you don't have, from who you are to who you're not. And in doing so, it disconnects you from your unique gifts, your path, and your purpose. High vibrational people don't compare themselves to others because they understand this: you can't compare two things that were never meant to be the same. Your journey is yours alone. Your timing, your struggles, your victories, they're all uniquely designed for you. When you compare yourself to someone else, you're not seeing the full picture. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. And in doing so, you lose sight of the magic that's unfolding in your own life. Ask yourself this: where are you falling into the trap of comparison? Is it on social media, where perfectly curated images make you question your own life? Is it in your career, where someone else's success feels like a reflection of your own shortcomings? What would happen if you chose to celebrate others instead of comparing yourself to them? What would happen if you trusted that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to? The next trap high vibrational people avoid is the energy of clutter. And this goes far beyond just the physical. Yes, physical clutter, piles of unused items, messy spaces, disorganized environments can weigh on your mind and drain your energy. But emotional and mental clutter can be just as damaging, if not more so. Mental clutter is the endless loop of overthinking, self-doubt, and unproductive thoughts that keep you stuck. Emotional clutter is the baggage you carry from unresolved issues, past wounds, and relationships that no longer serve you. High vibrational people understand that clutter, in all its forms, blocks the flow of energy. It creates stagnation, both in your space and in your spirit. That's why they make a conscious effort to clear it. They declutter their homes, creating spaces that feel light, open, and aligned with their energy. They declutter their minds through practices like meditation, journaling, and mindfulness, letting go of thoughts that don't serve them. And they declutter their hearts by doing the inner work to heal old wounds and release what no longer aligns with their highest self. Take a moment to reflect. Where is clutter showing up in your life? Is it in your physical space, your thoughts, or your emotions? What could you let go of today to create more space for the things that truly matter? Finally, high vibrational people avoid the energy of complaining. Complaining might feel like a natural response to life's challenges, but it's actually a powerful way to lower your vibration. When you complain, you're focusing on what's wrong instead of what's right. You're reinforcing the idea that you're a victim of your circumstances, rather than the creator of your reality. High vibrational people don't ignore life's challenges, they face them with grace and resilience. But instead of complaining, they look for solutions. They focus on gratitude, even in difficult moments, because they understand that what you focus on expands. Let me ask you this: how often do you find yourself complaining, either out loud or in your mind? What would happen if, instead of complaining, you chose to shift your focus to something you're grateful for? How would that change the energy of your day, your relationships, and your life? High vibrational people don't avoid these traps because they're perfect or immune to life's challenges. They avoid them because they've learned that their energy is their most valuable resource. They've learned that protecting their vibration isn't just about feeling good, it's about living a life that's aligned, purposeful, and free. The sacred boundaries: how high vibrational people protect their energy and master inner peace. High vibrational people understand something fundamental about life. Energy is sacred. It isn't infinite in the way we might wish it to be. Every moment we are either replenishing it, sharing it, or losing it. And while it's easy to think that energy depletion comes from big, obvious moments of stress or negativity, the truth is, it often happens in subtle, quiet ways, through the things we tolerate, the boundaries we fail to set, and the compromises we make with our own well-being. Boundaries are not just walls to keep negativity out, they are invitations to stay in alignment with your highest self. High vibrational people are masters at creating and maintaining boundaries, not because they want to isolate themselves or reject others, but because they know that protecting their energy is an act of self-respect and love. They've learned that saying no to what doesn't serve them is really about saying yes to their inner peace, their growth, and their purpose. One thing high vibrational people never allow into their lives is the energy of overcommitment. In today's world, there's an almost addictive pressure to be constantly busy, constantly available, constantly doing. But busyness isn't the same as progress, and high vibrational people know that spreading themselves too thin is a fast track to burnout. They prioritize their time and energy with precision, understanding that every yes they give to something is a no to something else, often the things that truly nourish their soul. Think about your own life for a moment. How often do you say yes out of obligation, guilt, or fear of disappointing someone? How many commitments are you carrying right now that don't light you up, but instead leave you feeling drained? What would happen if you allowed yourself to say no without apology, trusting that your worth is not tied to how much you do for others? Another way high vibrational people protect their energy is by avoiding environments that feel heavy, chaotic, or misaligned. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt tense, uneasy, or depleted? That's because every space holds energy, and some spaces can have a profoundly negative impact on your vibration. High vibrational people are sensitive to this. They pay attention to how a place makes them feel, and they're not afraid to remove themselves if the energy feels off. But this doesn't just apply to physical spaces, it also applies to emotional and digital environments. High vibrational people limit their exposure to arguments, drama, and negativity, whether in real life or online. They don't waste time scrolling through toxic comment sections, participating in heated debates, or immersing themselves in media that leaves them feeling anxious or hopeless. They choose environments that support their peace, their joy, and their growth, and they let go of the rest. Here's a question to reflect on. Are there environments in your life, physical, emotional, or digital, that consistently lower your vibration? What would it look like to step back from those spaces, even just a little, and create more room for the environments that uplift you? High vibrational people also understand the power of discernment when it comes to their relationships. They don't surround themselves with people who bring chaos, drama, or manipulation into their lives. Instead, they cultivate relationships with those who align with their values, who challenge them to grow, and who bring out the best in them. They know that a single toxic relationship can drain more energy than almost anything else, and they're not afraid to let go of connections that no longer serve their highest good. But this is where things get interesting. High vibrational people don't cut others off in anger or judgment. They release relationships with love, understanding that everyone is on their own journey. They don't carry resentment or bitterness because they know that those emotions only hurt themselves. Instead, they choose forgiveness not for the other person's sake, but for their own freedom. Ask yourself this: are there relationships in your life that feel more like weights than wings? Are you holding on to connections out of fear, obligation, or habit, even though they no longer align with who you're becoming? What would it feel like to release those connections with love, trusting that it's okay to outgrow people and move forward? Another boundary high vibrational people set is around their energy output. They know the difference between giving out of love and giving out of depletion. They don't pour from an empty cup or try to fix others at the expense of their own well-being. They understand that true service comes from a place of overflow, not sacrifice. So, they take care of themselves first, not out of selfishness, but out of the deep awareness that their ability to help others depends on their own strength and balance. Think about the ways you give your energy to others. Are you giving from a place of abundance, or are you giving because you feel like you have to? Are you making time to replenish yourself, or are you running on empty? What would it look like to prioritize your own well-being, knowing that it will ultimately allow you to give more fully and joyfully? High vibrational people are not immune to the challenges of life. They face difficulties, heartbreak, and setbacks just like everyone else. The difference is that they've learned to protect their energy in the midst of it all. They honor their boundaries, they trust their intuition, and they stay committed to living in alignment with their highest selves. The radiance within how high vibrational people embody authenticity and transform the world at the heart of everything high vibrational people do lies one essential truth: they are deeply authentic. They don't wear masks to fit in, they don't shrink to make others comfortable, and they don't compromise their values for approval. Instead, they live from a place of unapologetic alignment with who they truly are. This authenticity is not just a choice, it's a way of being that allows them to radiate a kind of light that transforms not just their own lives, but the lives of everyone around them. High vibrational people know that authenticity isn't about perfection. In fact, they embrace their flaws, their mistakes, and their humanity because they understand that these things make them whole. They don't try to be someone they're not, nor do they allow societal expectations to dictate their path. Instead, they ask themselves one powerful question every day: am I living in alignment with my truth? This question isn't always easy to answer. It requires radical honesty, the courage to face uncomfortable truths, and the willingness to let go of anything that isn't aligned. But high vibrational people know that this inner work is the foundation of everything. Without authenticity, there is no peace, no joy, and no real connection. That's why they choose to show up as their truest selves, even when it feels vulnerable, even when it feels risky. Think about your own life for a moment. How often do you find yourself dimming your light to fit in? How often do you say yes when you mean no, or stay silent when your heart is screaming to speak? What would happen if you gave yourself permission to show up fully, to be seen, to be heard, to be heard, to be you? High vibrational people also understand that their authenticity is a gift, not just to themselves, but to the world. When you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. You become a mirror, reflecting back what's possible when you choose to live in alignment. This is why high vibrational people often inspire those around them without even trying. Their energy, their truth, and their light speak louder than words ever could. But authenticity isn't just about how you show up externally, it's also about how you relate to yourself internally. High vibrational people are deeply compassionate with themselves. They don't beat themselves up for their mistakes or hold themselves to impossible standards. Instead, they treat themselves with the same kindness and understanding they would offer a dear friend. They know that self-love is the foundation of all love, and that you can't pour into others if you're constantly tearing yourself down. Finally, high vibrational people embody an unwavering trust in the universe. They know that life is not a series of random events, but a beautifully orchestrated journey designed for their growth and evolution. They trust that everything, whether joyful or painful, is happening for a reason, even if they can't see it in the moment. This trust allows them to let go of control, to surrender to the flow of life, and to approach challenges with grace and resilience. But this trust isn't blind faith, it's a deep, inner knowing that they are supported, that they are guided, and that they are never truly alone. They cultivate this trust through practices like meditation, prayer, and connection with nature. They listen to their intuition, follow the signs, and remain open to the mysteries of life. So, let me ask you this: do you trust life? Do you trust that everything you're experiencing right now is part of a greater plan, even if it doesn't make sense yet? What would happen if you chose to surrender, to let go of resistance, and to trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be? High vibrational people don't live perfect lives, and they don't have all the answers, but they've discovered the power of authenticity, self-love, presence, and trust. These choices aren't just habits, they're a way of being that allows them to shine from within, no matter what life brings. And when you start making these same choices, you'll discover something extraordinary. The radiance you've been searching for has been within you all along.